Here I am. It's 6:01. I'm technically late. I do not like to be late. I have a complex from my childhood, which is more trauma. So when you come on, please let me know that you're here, because Facebook is notorious for not letting me know when people have arrived, or there's some kind of like 5 to 10 second delay. So I'm going to wait, and I'm just going to sit here and stare at y'all until I know that there's people here. Yeah. So I'm going to sweat too. I always get nervous. Everybody who I watch do lives, they're always like doing makeup or doing their hair, so they always can do something with their hands. And I'm like, I don't have anything to do with my hands. So sometimes you'll see me like, I just like play with my nails. It's a nervous thing. Question and answers. I have a couple. Someone asked me about my gift. Because I mean, I call it a gift, but I also will say things like, I talk to dead people, because for me, that's real talk. Like, that's literally what I do. And they don't talk to me like other humans talk to me, I guess, if you want to know, like, what it's like. What it's like to hear spirit. And I bet when I say this, you're all going to be like, oh my God, I hear them too. Because we all have, like, spiritual guides or guardian angels. So what it's like to hear them is to think a thought that's not your own, because it's so subtle that you could confuse it for, I mean, anything really. And if you're not paying attention, it goes away real fast. For those of us like myself who can connect, I guess, a little bit more directly, yeah, they don't stop talking. It's not like an audible, it's not an audible sound. However, it has been. So there have been times when I can actually hear, like, you think you're hearing someone. Different from like sounds. Like everybody will hear sounds in their house, creaking, doors closing, things dropping, that sort of thing. It's not like that. It's a little different. I don't know. It's so hard to explain. Oh my God. How do I connect? I don't know. I've been to a couple mediumship retreats that I thought would finally tell me like how I do what I do, or how can I connect better. Like, how can I get a stronger connection? When will it be easier? Like, I guess I thought someone else had all the answers. So I would go to these retreats. I did 2. And it didn't help. I don't know what's going on with my phone. Oh, I do. Excuse me, just a sec. Sorry about that. So anyways, I didn't get all the answers. Obviously. I mean, if I had all the answers, I would have won the lottery a long time ago, which is a running joke for people that are psychic. Like, oh, well, if you're really psychic, you would know the lottery numbers, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't work like that. We don't generally get to know anything about our own lives. Sucks. Oh, my God, does it suck. So, I don't know how I connect. And I know that sounds silly maybe, but that's my reality. I don't know how I connect to spirit. I believe that I was given a gift. My guides are well aware of my gift. And when I'm ready to do a reading and I'm ready to work, they just start talking. I don't know. I don't know any other way to explain it. When I went to the retreats, hi Denise. When I went to the retreats, they tell you that you should ground yourself, and by grounding, you want to ground yourself or your energy into Mother Earth or into the ground. So they make references of like thinking like you're a tree, and like the tree, your roots are connected like to, let's say, your ankles, and you have to imagine them growing into the ground. That's how people, when you hear people talk about grounding, that's what they mean. Like some type of analogy to ground your energy into Mother Earth, which is like your neutral, let's say. And And then when they talked about connecting, they were like, there's different things that you can do to connect. Thinking of, walking up to heaven or walking into the clouds or acting like the top of your head is like a plug and you're plugging it into spirit. It all sounded so crazy to me. And I know for people that, maybe have never connected, all of it sounds crazy. Like just what I said just doesn't, like I'm sure anything relating to spirit or connecting to speak with those that are no longer here. It all maybe sounds crazy. But I don't do any of that. And I don't meditate and sit motionless for long periods of time. I don't do that. I can't do that. That would drive me insane. So do I meditate? Yes. But I will say I meditate differently because I consider like walking or sitting in my bathtub or listening to loud music and driving around. Like those are the times when I'm truly meditating, when you can just be, when you don't have to really think about anything else. I'm not trying to actively connect with my guides. I guess it depends on what you believe in too, because if you follow any kind of spiritual people on Facebook, social media, Instagram, Twitter, whatever, a lot of them believe that you should meditate for like an hour at least a day, or 20 minutes in the morning and 20 minutes at night or whatever. But me being one of those people that like, you're not going to tell me what to do. I don't listen. But I also didn't start my journey that way. I didn't just start meditating to connect. The connection came before anything else. So that's not how I was taught or how I started out or how I learned. So I'm different in that aspect. And I think that when it really comes down to it, all of us are different. One of the mediums that I went to, she doesn't meditate either. I guess you don't have to. Not all of us have to have any kind of connection to spirit. It doesn't seem to work that way. Not for all of us. Some people try really hard. I was in a retreat with a girl. She tried so hard. I felt bad for her. All she wanted was to connect to spirit. She was almost trying to force it. She would meditate. She would go through these exercises we were given, and she was just trying so hard to connect with spirit. And I think what it ultimately comes down to is trust. Because these thoughts that are really spirit talking, that's how they talk. It's like through your thoughts. It's like a little blip on your thought wave. It's like if there was a little wave going like this and somebody just stuck their finger on it for a second and made it straight. That's how I think of it in my head anyways. And she, this girl in the retreat, she tried so hard, but I don't know if she didn't trust herself because she could get some information. It's not like she was just sitting there like she didn't know what she was doing. She could get some of it, but I don't think that she trusted herself enough because I've done it myself. I speak from experience. When I do readings, it's really hard not to get in my head and think, oh my God, what if nothing happens? What if nothing comes through? What if I say the wrong thing? What if I don't understand what they're saying and I think I do and I say something and it's the complete opposite of what they really meant? Because it's like charades. It feels like charades. Like you get little pieces of information sometimes, but it's not always clear. So I've done it to myself where I'm like, oh, this is just going to be a bad time. Or I would get so anxious about it that I would want to cancel appointments because I was just like, nope, I can't do this. It's going to be really bad. And it all comes down to trusting yourself. You have to trust that what you're receiving is being meant for the sitter, which is the person that you're reading for. You have to trust that whatever spirit is bringing up for that person, they need to hear, whether it's something really great about what's going on or whether it's walking them through their death. I don't know. I've been doing readings professionally now for what? Oh my God, 4 years? I've had my gift for, oh my God, my whole life, but when I really acknowledged it, oh, I don't even know, 9, 10 years. I don't know. I remember just moments sitting, typing to somebody on Messenger. That was probably one of the first moments. I don't know if she's watching. She's my friend Jennifer. I was in school. I was in college, and I took college as an adult. So let's just be clear. I was doing a paper or whatever, but I had Facebook up because I'm a procrastinator and I don't really want to write a paper. And I was messaging back and forth with my friend Jen. And I don't even know how we got on it or whatever. And all of a sudden, in my mind, I saw this girl walk in my bedroom door because I was on my bed and come like around my bed, turn around and sit down. I could see her in my mind. I could see what she was wearing, this really ugly sweater that she had on, her curly hair. And it all happens in your mind. I know that there are some people that have gifts where they can actually see people like you're seeing me right now. Like it looks like a full person. That's not how my gift works. But that moment was one of the very first moments that I truly recognized as like a spiritual event, because I didn't always, I just would know stuff or I would tell people stuff, and it just was like a party trick. I didn't know how I knew or why. And it wasn't until I went to the local medium around here where I figured it out that I could really do this. I could really have, a start time to my readings, because that was always my big deal. Like, well, I can't just turn this on and off. Like, this just happens randomly. I don't have any control over it. And when I first opened up to my gift and like was trying to accept it, I opened up so far that I let everything in. It's kind of like leaving your door open at night. You wouldn't leave your door open at night, like wide open. You wouldn't just open your door and have it open. Because why? What's going to come in? Rodents, people, bad people that probably shouldn't be there in the middle of the night. And that's what happened to me. My original journey when I started opening up to spirit was rough, and it was dark, and it was scary, and my children were scared, and I was scared, and it was just not a good time. Because I didn't have control over it, because I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I didn't know anything then, and I really had nobody to ask. So if anybody watching this live has questions pertaining to something like that, I would be willing to entertain answering them, at least from my perspective. Because for me, it was hard because I didn't have anybody. There was nobody I could ask in my family even. Like, nobody does this. My grandpa, but he's been dead for a long time. So I just kind of felt like kind of flailing around with this gift I had no idea what the hell to do with. So now it's totally different. Now I'm at a whole different place in my gift. Now I know I have it. I know that I have an on-off sign, like I do with, like, I explain it to people. It's like having friends and family. You have times that they would contact you and times they don't. That's how I work with spirit. However, there are some who will still like barge in because I'm at the right place in the right time, or they just think they can, or I'm just being lax with my door, you can say. So I call it an on-off sign, because people think that when I go out somewhere, like if I go out to a restaurant or I go out to the store, like I'm just bombarded with spirit and all this talking because they see like Teresa Caputo on TV, and God love her. I met her. I don't do that. I don't do that. That's just not a thing for me. I guess because I'm a badass and you're not going to talk to me unless I tell you it's okay. I just can't. I would not be able to live my life. Can you imagine? I can't even imagine what that would be like. Like, how the hell do you even get anything done if spirit's constantly talking? Like, oh my God, no. So that's not my gift. That may be her gift, but that's not mine. And let's see. What about when I see our grandma? Okay. I'm sorry, I just saw the message. What do you mean when you see her? Like, where are you seeing her? Do you see her in your house? Do you see her, like, in your mind, at work? Does anybody else in my family have this? I was told that my grandfather had the same exact gift, but he chose not to use it. And when I opened up the first time and got the crap scared out of me and realized that there's good and evil everywhere, basically, like how you view it, white and dark, good, evil, like whatever you want to say. I I understand why he chose not to, because it was not the easiest time that I've had it. Yeah. Okay, but what you don't know is, Sammy Joe, is that my aunt, Auntie Rita, she was the first person that I talked to, I guess, about it. I didn't really tell anybody in the family, because why? Because when you think about how your family would react if you suddenly were like, yeah, I can see and talk to people that aren't there. What does that sound like? Bitch, get counseling or get therapy. That's why I didn't come right out and tell anybody for a long time, because I was like, I am not about, they're gonna ridicule. It's like they didn't believe me. Even I remember the first time I told my aunts and uncles, and it was just like, right, like one of those. But my grandpa had the gift, but my aunt, when I talked with her about this, we had a conversation about how I first realized that I actually was seeing people. And her and I described the same man, right down to the hat that he had on. So I think that the gift is there. I just think that, I don't know if you're given a choice, really. I mean, I could say that everybody that has this gift is given a choice. They talk about getting 3 knocks. Like they'll come 3 times, your guides will, to help you with the gift. And if you deny them all 3 times, you just are giving it up for this lifetime or something. I really don't know, because I don't know that I believe in all that. Okay. Oh, so when you see them in your dreams, there is a big difference between seeing them in your dreams and just having a dream about them versus you actually saw them. And like in Sammy Joe's case, she woke up and she got to see her with wings, like in her room. Oh, I got the goosebumps. And I'm probably going to cry. Oh, I should have told you. It's been a real emotional day for me, so I got my Kleenex. I'll be ready. Oh, shit. Sorry. She was... Oh my God. Just talking about random stuff, you guys. My grandma was my life. I feel like she was my mom. And she's been gone for almost 16 years. But it just, remember, grief isn't linear. So we don't get to choose when we want to be sad. And it doesn't matter how long they've been gone. Anyways. Whew, I'm going to collect myself. The spirit will visit you in your dreams. And how you'll know is because when you wake up, it's like it really happened. And in the case of Sammy Joe, she was given a beautiful gift to be able to actually see her. Oh, sorry. Sorry, not sorry. I gotta stop apologizing for feeling emotion. I've just done that my whole life, so it's a really hard habit to get out of. I saw my grandma in a dream. I don't even know how long she had been gone. And I will never forget it because it wasn't a dream. We were outside her house and she was digging through her purse like she would have any other day. And I remember asking her like what she was looking for. And she looked up at me and she said, "You can see me." And I was like, what the fuck? Of course I can see you. Because in my mind, that was like the way it was playing out, it was reality for me. Like, I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, of course I can see you. You're right there in front of me. And she disappeared. Oh my God. It was just like, she came back, but I don't remember much after that because it was just so shocking that she would look at me and be like, you can see me. Like she wasn't using her own power. Anyway, sorry about that. So again, whew, I digress. So they do visit you in your dreams. And the reason they do that is because your mind is very relaxed. You're probably as close to their, I don't know, their energy field as you could be at that time. And it will feel real. You will remember it like it really happened, like you were really there. And like I said, in Sammy Jo's case, she actually got to see her when she woke up, which is amazing. That's a beautiful gift to be given by Spirit. When you talk about signs from loved ones, how do you know it's a sign? And you say it's just letting you know that they are there for us. Is that a good or not so good thing? Okay, so for me, when you're given a sign, I don't ever think that that's bad. I think that you're given signs to protect you all the time, especially when you're driving. When you miss your turn because you're talking or you were daydreaming or whatever it was. I don't think that you missed your turn intentionally. I think that there are moments when Spirit is able to enter like a little bit of your subconscious, I guess you would say. I don't really know how to explain it. But like they whisper in your ear and how you would turn left instead of right, like those kinds of things. I think those are signs of protection. When people say that they see signs, it literally could be anything. It depends on the person. So some people, before they leave the physical plane, they will say, you know, they'll have a pact. I know certain people have had pacts with family members or loved ones. Like, you know, when you see a blue butterfly, that'll be me, or, you know, whatever. I don't know why I said blue butterfly, but whatever. A lot of people associate cardinals with loved ones, when cardinals will randomly show up. And we talked about that a little bit before, where mine is actually not a cardinal. Mine is a blue jay or something. It would be something else for me specifically. But everybody kind of has their own, like, what would that sign be, you know? And it could be something as simple as, like somebody had posted, I don't know if it was in this, I think it was in this group, the dragonfly. Like, things that are kind of out of place, like the things that don't really belong where they are, or songs that come on the radio. They're really good with electronics because it's electrical, like it's a frequency. So they're really good at, you know, messing with like radio stations and things. I'm trying to think. I mean, I've had stuff like, I had a plant holder in my bathroom and I had walked in once and it was swinging. As soon as you acknowledge it, usually, if it's something that's scaring you, like let's just say it's something scaring you because you're like, that should not be happening, there's no window open, whatever, just, you know, say something like, thank you, Spirit, for blessing me, or what have you. A lot of times when they do stuff in your house, they make noises or whatever, it's never meant to scare you. Some people get scared because we're programmed and we watch all these like scary movies and murderous movies and, you know, all that stuff. But most times, as soon as you acknowledge it, they stop. That's all they want you to do, is like, acknowledge that I'm here with you. Acknowledge that whatever I'm doing, tapping, moving the silverware, whatever it is, acknowledge that what I'm doing you recognize, and that you know that I'm still here with you. Because it's very hard for us with human brains and emotions to really recognize that they're still there when they leave the physical body. When, you know, like there's no more physical body for us to call on the phone or get a hug from, or, you know, go shopping with, whatever it was that you did with that person, maybe frequently. So I'll just say that souls are really smart. We all obviously are souls too, but when we get this meat suit, things kind of change for us. So when they leave that, everything is very different. They're very intelligent. They don't want us to suffer. You have to consider, like, for those of you who are religious and you go to church and you talk about God and how you pray and like God is so good and heaven is so beautiful and all those things, like, it's all about unconditional love, which is what my belief tells me that these souls come from. These souls only exist in an area of unconditional love. I have done plenty of readings where I can actually feel that unconditional love. I've cried about it during a reading because it's so overwhelming. If you were able to bottle this stuff up and sell it, I'd never have to work another day in my life. Like, they come in with the most pure energy and the most love for you that you could possibly imagine. So, as far as recognizing the signs, you're going to be really good at rationalizing stuff away. So good. It's just what we do. You just have to really pay attention. Like the other day when I was, getting ready to go to the dentist and I was all freaked out about it. And all of a sudden I was literally humming a song. And so I'm like, you're in the bathroom. I'm in the bathroom and I'm humming this song. And all of a sudden I realized, holy shit, like that's the song that I listened to on repeat when my grandma died. It is not, obviously, even when she died, it wasn't like on the charts at that point. It was already a couple years old. So here we are almost 16 years later. Not like I heard that somewhere. There's no music on in the house at all. That's what I mean. They're very subtle. But it'd be real easy for me to just poo-poo that away and think that, that's not anything. So you have to kind of really pay attention because they are pretty subtle. So my mom told us when she was diagnosed with terminal cancer that our dad came to her in the most beautiful angel gown to let her know that he was okay. She then told us we would all be okay without the both of them. That's correct. So when spirits get ready, well, let's see. When humans get ready to die, the souls most times know. I mean, I would say the soul knows all the time, but sometimes the human is included into that. When people know that they're going to die or people get really sick, towards the end of their life, they will start talking about people that they are no longer here. And I always tell people that's because they can see them, because they're so close to that other side of being just a soul that all of a sudden they'll start talking about Grandma Francine, who's been, dead for 20 years that you maybe never even met. Or in the case of, a husband-wife, like all of a sudden she'll start talking about a husband that's been dead for, a while. And it's kind of like you can easily say, oh, they're losing their mind because now she thinks she's talking to dad. Like dad's been gone that's not really the case. And not what I believe. Again, I always tell you guys, this is just what I believe. You don't have to take any of this to heart. I would just say take whatever resonates with you. But I believe that when they get that close to the other side, that they really are seeing those people and that those people are there. Because for the souls on the other side, when they know somebody is coming to join them, it's a celebration. It's not a celebration for us because now we're losing this person that we love so much. But for the souls, it's like a party. Like they're finally coming home to where there is no such thing as suffering and grief, and it's all unconditional love. So they are there to greet them. Even the people that you would think wouldn't be the ones to show up. Like in the case of a father-son that didn't speak, the son maybe passed away in a car accident, let's say, and now the dad is on his deathbed. And he might start talking about that son, even if they had a tumultuous relationship and the son died a long time ago. Because to souls, that doesn't exist. That doesn't matter. They don't think in the same context that we do. All right. So the other question was about my healing. Oh, gosh. Well, if you watched any of my lives and you know I just randomly break out and cry, that's part of my healing. Um, I'm going to say that I don't know why certain things happen in the way that they do, besides that I truly believe everything happens for a reason. How many times I've tried to go through things and fix them about myself. But I read something today and it just really made a lot of sense. When you think about past trauma, whatever that trauma is for you, for me, I have a lot. I'm sure everybody probably has moments that, were traumatic. I just, I, after I was molested, I was a child, but I didn't deal with it. My parents obviously did not deal with it. In fact, I was just talking to my daughter about it today, and she really thinks I should talk to my mom about it. Because my dad is deceased. And I don't really want to talk to my mom about it, because if anybody knows my mom, you will know that my mom is a narcissist and makes everything about herself, even when it has nothing to do with her. So I didn't really want... Yeah, I'm a crier too, Wendy. But I didn't really want to talk to her. And maybe someday I will. I just don't see my mom ever healing or taking ownership for her part in my story. I don't. But what happened was that rejection of healing, because that's really what happened. I didn't know how. I mean, obviously I was a kid, but I started to eat, and I was the only child. So I got to eat all the time, and I got to eat whatever I wanted. And then we moved to the country, and I didn't exercise. I didn't go anywhere. I didn't do anything. So I used food as my numbing agent. And it's because I didn't want to be hurt. That's what I read today. I didn't want to be hurt, so I refused to be hurt. So in the process, because I refused to be hurt, I was refusing to heal. Does it suck? Fuck yeah, it sucks. It sucks to constantly... I'm gonna cry again. It sucks to constantly feel. But you know what? There is no way out but through. Because eating or drinking or doing whatever the drug of choice is for you doesn't fucking make it go away. It just doesn't. And for me, I'm just like, I'm creating all these cycles and these habits, and I just decided that I wanted something better for myself. And it's really hard to say that, because for my whole life I didn't believe I was good enough. And I just figured out it was because I was molested when I was 4. For anybody that has some childhood trauma, I want to tell you that you are looking back at that childhood trauma with an adult brain. There is no fucking way that I knew at 4 years old that that wasn't okay, or that I shouldn't have done that, or that they shouldn't have done that. And I want to scream that from the rooftops, because my adult mind is like, oh my God, why did you do that? Like, you knew that was wrong. You knew you shouldn't have been in a room with them. You knew. That's impossible. Look at any 4-year-old child and tell me that they know. They have no idea. But what happened to me was that little girl that was molested is still a very big part of who I am. And she started listing off all the reasons why I've never been good enough. And I had no idea that it stemmed from that fucking moment. But it's been almost 4 weeks that I just fucking decided. Do I know why I decided? No, I have no idea. Everything happens for a reason. But I just decided that I'm done with keeping my mouth shut and thinking that I'm not good enough. I'm just done. So, This is what happens when you feel. Because I refuse to numb it. Because the old Sandy would have eaten like so much stuff. Because she doesn't want to feel this shitty feeling of inequity, you know? And it's sad because in my head I'm like, you are so great. But for so many years I created this negative dialogue within myself that just said you're a piece of shit. You're not worth loving because they didn't protect you. And I just went from one bad moment to another. And then when you're a heavy child, kids are mean. I got made fun of all the time for my weight. So it just perpetuates. It perpetuates the, the negative self-talk. So you have to remember, it's just like literally you just have to decide, and you have to remember that you are, oh God, sorry, my phone has like, oh, I wanted to do it on the freaking computer and I can't get the damn webcam to work. I'll figure that out sometime. But you have to remember like all of the good things that you've done and all the good that you have in you. You just have to. You have to find it. Because I could sit and have a pity party for the rest of my goddamn life, but I just don't want to be a victim. And I don't want you guys to be either. Life goes on. Things happen. Shitty moments happen. I mean, I just don't. I don't know. There's more to come on that because somebody in this group, and I don't think she's actually watched my lives, but she's been part of my page almost since it started. She used to send me messages about how much she loved my page and whatever. Well, she runs, or she has an online magazine. And she read my story and she asked if she could publish my story in this magazine. And I thought about it because I was like, well, I know I put it out there, but my page is only my page. It's like 100,000 people versus how many might see it and it's online, you know, whatever. Not thinking that anybody could see my story. And I told her she could publish it as long as she didn't change anything. And then she, I love you too. She said that she really, she showed me what she wanted to publish because she didn't want to publish all of it, which is fine because I just said, don't change anything. Then she came back to me and she said, I really want to talk about child abuse. And I'm thinking, what the fuck do you want to talk? And I was like, what are you talking about? And I'm thinking, that's so random to send somebody a message like, oh, I want to talk about child abuse. And she said, I want to talk about your parents not believing you. And I guess it was probably the first time that I really like put to mind that my parents really didn't believe me. Because if they did, why would they have stayed friends with that family? Why would they have put me back in that family's home? I mean, the molestation happened at my own house because we were being babysat. I was being babysat. But anyways, she said to me, she said, I want teenagers to be able to read this and know that they don't have to feel shame or guilt and that life can go on from that event. And she said, and I also want parents to read it and get an eye opener that you should be believing and trusting your children, that what child is going to make something like that up? I'm not saying that there isn't a kid that might invent or make something. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying for the vast majority of children are not going to make up stories like that. So she asked if I would write about that specific time. Ooh, that's a big one, right? And I just asked her for some time. I haven't even started. Excuse me. But she's right. She's right. More people need to know that life does go on and that we don't have to be the victim. Like, I don't know. I just feel like I'm more than all of that. I'm more than being molested. I'm more than having an abusive husband. And I feel like that's where, I don't know, that's where I'm headed to the, I'm headed to the now, the where I was supposed to be all of those years, where I just was refusing to heal because I didn't want to feel anything. Because I think we build it up so much in our mind to be so terrible. And don't get me wrong, like crying all the time isn't like what I would want to sign up to do, but I'd rather feel it. I never thought I'd say that. I'd rather feel like shit for 5 minutes, 55 minutes, 5 days, and realize that I am through that and I am better than that and move on with my life. So there's no like right answer to how you want to heal. I've worked with a shaman. When I obviously, because doing spiritual work, I was like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. So worked with a shaman. I've had Reiki attunement 1. I'm going to be doing my Reiki attunement 2. Moving more towards that. Being able to heal on that level too. I guess I don't know. I mean, I don't know really where my life is going. Does that do any of us like, oh, like nothing. I kind of want to talk about consequences though of choosing yourself. Because when I say that I'm choosing myself every day, even though it's fucking hard, what you've seen on this live is exactly what I mean. When you choose yourself and you have to move through moments that are uncomfortable or scary, you have to feel the fear and do it anyways. My husband is not a part of this group for reasons. I mean, obviously, I don't want him to be part of this group because why? Because this is my group. This is my safe place. We're not, I just don't want him part of this group. I had to tell him last week that whenever he decides that he wants to drink, that I'm no longer going to interact with him. And I knew I had to tell him because when I woke up, I was getting pushed by spirit, kind of like almost like a whole thing that I could have, if I could have written it down while I was hearing it, like something I could have said from start to finish. I woke up like that, thinking about that. Like, you need to tell him that you can't. Like, I don't want to be an active participant in your alcoholism. I just don't. I've lived my whole life around alcoholics, and I know I've not talked. This is not the first time I've talked about this situation, but I had to tell him because I'm choosing myself. I'm not going to be part of that. I don't want any part of it. I get that we're married, but I also know that my husband's not going to stop drinking. Does he drink every day? No. I mean, yes, mostly. Does he get drunk every day? No. When I was sitting in the living room trying to prepare to tell him this, I was terrified. I didn't want to tell him because I felt like I was a little kid who was going to disappoint her father. That's what healing brought up for me. So apparently I never wanted to disappoint my father. Why I don't know yet, but I did tell him. I told him that he would probably take it the wrong way. And I had told him beforehand that I was going to take a shower and I was going to go shopping with my daughter. And so then I told him this, and his reaction was, go take a shower. That's what he said to me. And I said, I kind of figured you were going to react the wrong way. And we haven't talked about it since. It's been a week. So he has, oh God. He has he has hid his alcohol. So he'll hide it in a coffee cup. He'll put red wine in a coffee cup. You know the worst part of all of this is he takes me for stupid. I don't know who the fuck you think you're dealing with, but if I didn't know, Spirit sure the fuck isn't going to let you get away with that crap. Anyways, he hides his wine in a coffee cup. And a couple days ago, I walked into the kitchen and I saw a full drink. We have clear glasses. And I saw a full drink, and I'm not going to say anything. I'm not your goddamn mother. I'm not going to mother you about it. And the next time I walked into the kitchen, it was gone. And all I could see was like his tall coffee cup, like that he would use to like go to work. And I picked it up and I sniffed it. That's my life right now. I picked it up and I sniffed it. And it smelled like coffee. Doesn't matter. That drink went somewhere. He probably drank it. So now there's been 2 times this week where he just slept in the living room because he chose to drink. Well, that's good because I'd rather sleep in my bed than downstairs here in the extra bed we have because I'm choosing to not participate in that part of his life. And I'm not fucking sorry. Because am I mad about it? Fuck yeah, I'm mad because you know what it feels like? Being chosen second. Alcohol is more important than my marriage. That's what it feels like to me. It's the same cycle that we lived the first time we were married. If I'm being 100 with you guys. It's the same type of cycle I lived with my first husband. In fact, the guy that I dated in between my marriages to my husband was also an alcoholic. That's my cycle. A cycle of codependency and always being chosen second. So I've literally found men that would replay that for me. These are all like eye-opening things, but it's all part of my journey. I can't say that if you set out on a healing journey and stop using whatever vice it is you're using to not feel, whether you're constantly busy with your kids and living your life through your children, whether you're eating like I did, whether you're drinking, smoking pot, you're habitually shopping, cleaning. There are so many different vices that we use. If you get rid of them and you sit in the position that I'm in, you might realize some real shitty things about your current reality too. That's not me. That's not me. And I can't take his problems as my own. And it's taken me this long to figure that shit out. I always felt like I needed to take care of him and be his caretaker when he would drink. And the worst part was our youngest son started doing it too. Damn, you guys, like there's so much shit I could talk all night about. Like, fuck, man, it's really hard when you have a reality and you see it recreating in your kids. I had to, and it's been since we lived in this house, so it's been within the past year and a half. I had to have a conversation with my teenage son that he is not responsible to take care of his dad when he has drank too much. That is not fair. Oh, God, it just pisses me off. I just wish I would have seen it sooner. I wish I would have seen it sooner so that I don't recreate the fucking patterns in my own children. Sorry. Sorry, not sorry. Oh my God, I might forever do that. For the rest of my life, I might do that. So, what did I tell you? I think Spirit thinks they're funny. Like, I have to do all these lives so I get to tell you all this crap about my life. Because at the same time I'm telling you, I'm helping myself. I seriously, wholeheartedly hope that I'm helping somebody watching this. Because, you're just so worth it. Like, I would never, the way that I used to treat myself, I would never treat any of my friends, my family, ever. I would never be that mean to them. My internal dialogue was so toxic. So you have to choose yourself. You just have to, because if you don't, who will? Oh, fuck. It's so heavy. It's like working through a lifetime of trauma. Like, however long I've been live, like forever, I feel like. An hour. Oh my god. So you guys are my new therapist. Thank you for being part of my therapy. I love you guys a lot. I really do. I told you, you guys feel like my soul family. And I don't even know some of you. I don't know most of you, probably. Like, there's over 500 people in this group. Yeah. So, I don't know. We'll be back next week for another therapy session. Oh, crap. Maybe. Maybe I'll just sit here and talk, and maybe that's what my life is going to be for now. You know, if anything random spiritual stuff comes up. Ooh, because Stace and I have a reading on Friday. I bet you it's going to be good. Yeah, but that's her reading. It's private. I can't tell you anything about it. That's up to her if she wants to share. All readings have moments that, well, not all, but most readings have moments that I will, like, forever remember. Like, different parts of the readings that are almost like super shocking or really touching. Excuse me, but I can't divulge who I was in the reading with, because that's private. That's my rule. So I'm gonna go upstairs and I'm gonna watch trash TV now, because that's what I'm gonna do to make myself feel a little better. Watch TLC's 90 Day Fiance. Anybody else? It's coming on. And then, you know, I didn't watch last week's Pillow Talk yet, so I need to watch that. Oh my god. Anyways, thanks guys for just, you know, being on the other end of the camera and letting me just cry my eyes out and tell you about my gift. And yeah, I think that I might do this next week. So bring your Kleenex and let's just get it all out so we can all heal each other. I love you.